get yourself to blame. Hi there, guys. Hafa here one more time, the tutor of teachers. So, people, last video we talked about what kind of professional you would like to develop, what kind of lessons you would like to teach, what kind of relationship you would like to have on a daily basis, with your client. So that being said, have you thought about it? Have you thought about what kind of professional you would like to be? What's your area? What fits your personality most of all? Throughout my career, I've always focused with all my efforts to be that kind of teacher that could be suitable in all situations. That flexible teacher. Wow, that guy can work with kids. He communicates well with elderly people and has a nice, the guy has a nice relationship with everybody. Oh my God, this is the kind of communicator I would like to be. Okay, it has its qualities, but as a professional, as somebody to be remarkable, somebody who has, that brings up that divine flame in you. That's something that it's only you can bring to the table. Something unique about you. Ha! This is where you can make a difference. And this would really highlight your best traits, something that you could teach your style, but nobody can copy you, nobody can be you. So most of all, this is something very important I would like to transmit, because throughout my career, I've been that person that suited all situations, but that didn't actually bring me nothing but then a little pat on the back from bosses and superiors. Okay, I can use this person in many different situations, but what makes me see in him that nobody else has other than flexibility? Okay, because nobody specializes in every single thing. This is my point here. You can't specialize in everything. So, about positioning, every single thing you transmit tells a lot about you, about the kind of professional you are, the kind of relationship you want to have with your client, with your student, with the person you're providing services to. So, this is very, very important to keep in mind. Your tone of voice, your vocabulary. For example, if you work with kids, you can't curse. So everything is positioning. The clothes you wear, the lights, in our case, everything counts in terms of what you can see. All the communication. Communication is not only words. So, of course, a good microphone is paramount, a good camera, a good light, but it's something you build along the time. You can be creative. I'm not saying that you have to start, becoming a teacher next week, and you need to invest like 150 euros worth of equipment to succeed. Okay, it's not that at all. I've tried and all kinds of methods and lights and positions. This is something I want you to keep in mind, guys. You need to always invest in terms of thinking of how you improve the service. My service is 100% online. I've invested through the years in a better computer, a better camera, and then the microphone, and then a good space that the outside noise doesn't has too much interference. Because imagine the moment you get the better microphone, the condenser microphone, you start capturing outside noise. The acoustics of the room makes a much bigger influence. So this all counts. So you need to transmit how you talk to your student. I always say this, that you need to make sure every single thing with your student is clear. It's like how long you're gonna wait for them. How is your communication with them? Which means of communication you're gonna have with them? Because sometimes you don't receive emails from that person. You're not expecting it, falls in the spam box, or what day they're gonna pay. How much is it? Clearly, everything stated, and the conditions that you want to work with. too. In my case, it's a business English. So people are professionals. They are sometimes with a most times with a very tight schedule. So people start the meeting in the car. Sometimes people are gonna have to use their phones, but most times sitting down with the computer headphones, so you don't have that horrible feedback that you hear your voice in the other person's sound system. That really bothers me and cuts me off a lot. So every single thing you need to be talked about in a normal, fluent way. Some of these things I just sent them. I don't have to sit with the students from day one. You're trying to report and create, find connections and things in common, and you keep just, you know, throwing up rules at them all at once. So this is something to keep in mind. You got to know the moment, and then some things you just send in a file, some things you talk about, you refer in the introduction, in the demo class. Anyhow, something you need to make sure they know it, they have it, the roles, they know that you are a great professional, that you make sure your work is uh, provided the best way possible. So, for example, I don't accept more than my tolerance is 10 minutes, because it's a 50-minute class. You're going to have 40 minutes to work with this person, make them get out of that moment with something to work with. Okay, I remember this and that, what I had in class, and I'm improving. So, less than 40 minutes, I don't believe it's possible for the human brain to practice enough to make a difference. And sometimes people, make a habit of it, get late all the time, and they, okay, I'm late, I'm bored, I'm stressed, so I'm just gonna have a little conversation with you. It's not a talk show. You have goals, you have things you want to achieve. So there are things you want to brush during the class. So you shouldn't allow last minute things. For example, I've worked with kids for many years, and many times the last minute their parent, oh, just passing by their bedroom, oh, did you mention that you have a test? Yes, tomorrow, and then you gotta work with this and this and that, and then you start looking up at your material like crazy. Oh, but I have a book, and that book, looking up on the internet. I definitely not allow this kind of behavior. I say, hey, I could definitely work with you. We could go off book a little bit for a while, and of course you're gonna have to bring whatever they need, but in an organized fashion. They need to send beforehand, and then you prepare your material. You see how you're going to develop that. Okay, they are paying for the class, but it's your class, it's your service, it's your 30 years of experience, 20 years of experience that it's on the table. So anyhow, you need to make sure that you are conducting the best way possible. I've had many students, CEO, directors, and such managers. They would like to conduct like they conduct every single meeting throughout the day. This is normal for them. So, guys, a lot about your positioning, about what kind of professional you are, and how your students see you, and what they're going to talk about you. The qualities that they're going to bring up in a discussion. This is something really important to make sure what is the relationship you have with your student, with your client, with the person you're providing services to. This is something paramount, because many times people just want to get things off their chest, or they're tired, they want to gossip about their boss. Okay, you got to make it natural, but there are moments for every single thing. There are goals, and these are your goals. You shouldn't take the eye off the ball, not them. Because it's not their process, it's your process, it's your plan that is in stake. I've been the friendly teacher for many years, and that definitely, I would say not necessarily, but definitely has not brought me the best results. So you should, get control of the process. Make sure you handle the situation, in a proper way and in a friendly way, of course. But it's your process. You're handling this. You don't let them, take control of the situation and of what you're gonna do or not. And I always make sure the student has a say, obviously, in the process. It's their process as well. So this is what I wanted to talk to you about today. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next moment.